Hello, this is Mike, NoStressMike.com. I'm up on the balcony here, my house. Just kind of show you. In the mornings, I come up here to get warm. Right there, you'll see Central Park. So not far from Central Park. But anyway, what I want to talk about is the ignorance of the people. And I'm talking about the people in general. I say, whenever I leave the country, United States, what I see is real obvious. But a lot of times it's the same thing that I see in the United States, but being around it so much, you just don't really notice it so much. But anyway, this is what I want to talk about, is how ignorant in general, how ignorant human beings are. And I don't blame the people in particular, and the reason is we are taught to be ignorant. In the United States, I've noticed, everybody's on a cell phone. You see people with their friends and they're on their cell phone. They're not discussing things. They're not talking about things. I mentioned where I'm at in Oklahoma. We put each other's feet to the fire all the time. We have beliefs. I'm not talking about your big, God kind of beliefs. I'm talking about in life there's certain things that are going to happen, and we talk about this stuff, and we question each other about this stuff. And I don't think people do that. But then again, the people I hang around I consider them pretty intelligent. And the reason that is, I'm not all that intelligent. I'm experienced. I have experience. But I don't have the intelligence. This is why I like to hang around intelligent people. They make me think. And because, like I say, I don't read. I'm a dyslexia, so I don't read. So I have to experience things. This is how I learn. And but you've got to remember also, a year ago, right now it's New Year's Eve, 2018, midnight. We start 2019. But a year ago, I was in China. I lived in China for 9 months last year. And before that, I lived in Guatemala. And in between all these places, I've been in the United States. And right now I'm in Mexico. And so, I experience things. I see things. And one thing I've noticed where I'm staying at here, my friends here, they're not really well to do, and they've got what they call a muchacha. It's like a servant, a maid, and they've had one ever since I've known them, and I've known them since the hurricane in Mexico and Guatemala. They had a hurricane, big hurricane there in 2006, I believe it was. That's where I met them. And even at that time, they had muchacha. And their kids, so I've seen their kids being raised, and they had a maid doing this stuff. And just like I made a video not too long ago about me doing my laundry. I don't have to do my laundry. You know what I mean? But I do things. I learn things by doing things. these kids that I've seen, like I say, they've got the muchacha, they got the maid doing everything. Now they're growing up, and I cannot believe how this is what they're going to school, and this is what they're learning right here. They're not expanding, looking to see, okay, this is what they're learning, but there's other things out there they could learn more. They're not. They're playing their computer games and Facebook stuff, and all this kind of stuff, and it just amazes me how they now, like I say, they're like 20 years old. They've chosen to be stupid. They've chosen to be ignorant, I guess. And then now they're old enough, they're not in school, so then I'll grab them and I'll take them out with me, and when they're with me, they're learning all kinds of stuff, just like I'm learning all kinds of stuff. You know what I mean? But if I'm not taking them out, they're not learning nothing. They have no desire to learn. Their only desire is to do as they're told. And it's either being told directly or being told indirectly. Like I say, the video games and stuff like this. It's keeping them very ignorant. And now, for them, they don't realize it, but they know me. I'm an American. I am different. I'm completely different than all their friends and everybody that they know, even their mom and dad and all this. They're just, they make views of the United States by what we can communicate. And the thing is, I noticed this trip when I came down this trip. And before, when I was here, oh man, a long time ago. Let's see, Trump's been elected 2 years ago. Before that, I told him that Trump was a businessman and he ought to be good. And they were saying, well, how would you like somebody like that? And that's because they listen to the news media. And then, after he was elected, and then everybody was saying how he's a racist and, all this kind of, and that's what they're telling me, the same thing. And I said, no, Trump is an awful lot like me. We're business people. And we follow the law. And up to now, the politicians don't follow the law. And what he is doing is enforcing the laws. If they don't like the laws, they can change the laws. It's not him. He doesn't. They say, well, he doesn't like Mexicans and Latinos and stuff like that. Where do you get this crap? It just doesn't. That doesn't happen. They're just like this. They're not opening to find out more. And I told them, the internet is full of information. And what do? They get on the internet, play their games, and communicate with their ignorant friends. They've chosen to be ignorant. A lot of the people have chosen to be like that. They're amazed that I don't watch TV, and I sure don't watch sports, and they're amazed how can I not, to get involved like that's what everybody else does. Well, they just right over their head. Everyone else are sheeple. I am not a sheeple. I think. I do things. And it's not like I just came upon me just last week. This is the way I've lived my life. And, even being in school, because, like I say, I am dyslexia, people would tease me that, because everybody said I was ignorant, because, I can't hardly read and can't hardly write and all this kind of stuff. So everybody was teasing me. So, but for me to go along with them, that's ignorant. And so I chose to do other things. And even as a kid in school, I would do sports and stuff. So I would find out what my body's capable of doing. And then when I had a chance, the opportunities to travel, get out, see things, do things, then I did that. So these young'uns have given up they've made the choice that they're going to be ignorant. And yes, the parents aren't pushing them, making them learn. They allow them to, well, look at little kids now. They get them in front of the TV, watch the TV, so I don't have to babysit you. I don't have to take care of you. See, so we're teaching them at a young age, to narrow down their learning process, not think. And this is what we're dealing with now, a bunch of people that don't think. And now when they don't I do believe there's good people. And so even when bad things happen, these good people will do their best to try to get through it. But they're not learning to think so they can avoid bad things from happening. I mean, look, I'm in all these different countries. I'm open up to bad things all the time. And bad things happen to me all the time. But normally they don't last that long, and they're not near as bad as they used to be. And that's because I've learned how to deal with them. And this is what's not happening nowadays. I'll tell you, these young people have grown up, and now they are the snowflakes. They're the communist, socialist, progressive, New World Order people that we have to deal with now. And it's going to be ugly. So you better be talking, communicating with others. Help them open their minds so they can start looking and thinking for themselves. Because when they're not thinking for themselves and they're having hard times, they're going to push their hard times on us. We're going to have enough hard times to deal with. We don't need other people's hard times. This is Mike. NoStressMike.com.